The fitting room is located right off of 10th and Pike in the heart of Capitol Hill, next to Numos, through a garage door and at the very bottom of a ramp. We do bike fits, and technically it's a retrofit. So someone will bring me their bike, and sometimes, not all the time, will mention that they have pain somewhere in their knee, in their shoulder, or their neck, and there are adjustments that I can make on the bike according to their body to make the bike fit them better. How your feet interact with the pedals, where your knee tracks and how it measures to different parts of your body during different parts of the pedal cycle, how far over your trunk is leaning, how your shoulders sit, how your hands interact with the handlebars. It's a game of millimeters where we're just fine-tuning the bike to make sure that we maximize power output for the rider and minimize pain. It's a process. I do it the same every time. I start at the cleat and how the shoe interacts with the pedal, and where someone's foot is placed on the pedal needs to measure up to a certain anatomical landmarks in someone's foot. And then I move up through the body. So then I go through the knee and see where the knee hits at different points of the pedal cycle, then go up through the hips and see how someone fits on a saddle. Then I move up through the trunk and the shoulders and end at the hands. So every time I go through the exact same process, but then like taking into consideration each individual. The biggest factor that I will take into consideration is how comfortable someone wants to be on their bike and how the geometry of their bike fits them. For like more of a road cyclist, you'll be in a more aerodynamic, more aggressive position. Whereas like if you're riding more of a gravel bike, you'll be a little bit more upright. So it's more dependent on what the rider wants.
Well, you're convincing me I need to do this again. Because I did it years ago, I was telling you before we started the interview. And I do swear by bike. Everybody, it's good for everybody, no matter what level you are in bike riding.
Totally. And I'd even say I understand a body better than a bike. I've been a physical therapist for 5 years now. My background is in orthopedics, so I treat all sorts of sports injuries, musculoskeletal, neuromuscular injuries, and I've treated a lot of cyclists. And then I became interested in cycling, and so I bought a bike of my own. I was riding around a bit, and then took a class on bike fitting, and I like fell in love with it. Just like the tinkering around with a bike. It's such an interactive experience with the rider of them getting on, feeling, and then making changes. And the class was so informative and so much fun that I took those skills back and then was given the opportunity to open up the fitting room inside of Good Weather in their new underground space. So everything fell into place at the right time.
I love that you're, how you said in the underground place, because this is total Capitol Hill to me. It's like cool location, funky location, but when you know the people are here, it's the best place to go because you see all the bikes here. You know it's obviously successful. And now that they have the fitting room in here as part of an offer that you guys bring to this is excellent.
Yeah.
So what are your favorite snack when you're out riding a bike to keep your energy level up?
My go-to is a Cliff Bar. It's just so easy to fit in my back, jersey pocket. Just take a couple bites and I can put it back if I need to. I did the STP a couple years ago, and I did it with a couple friends. We loaded up on different bars and blocks and gels, and the gels and the gummy blocks just taste so artificial. They're so bad. They're so bad. If I'm going for a longer ride though, a classic PB&J is really nice. And if it gets smushed in a pocket or something,
it doesn't matter.
It's not a huge deal. Yeah.
No, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
If you had anywhere in the world you could go ride your bike, where would you go?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Honestly, I think riding down the West Coast would be really cool. To start in Washington and then get all the way down to Southern California, and maybe not along the coast the whole time, but being able to start in mountains and get to a warm beach and see the change in geography, the change in climate would be so fascinating.
Well, I want to thank you, Lee, for answering all our questions today and sharing a little bit about the fitting room. And thank everyone else for tuning in on another episode of Capitol Hill Live. So we'll see you next time.